Right start for Newcastle. Matthew Johns, a dummy to the inside. The kick through for the corner. Here comes the first try, or did Balmain get there? A check with the in-goal judge. It is a Newcastle try. And really in the wash-up, it's a little too easy. 4-0.
But very well constructed by the Newcastle Knights. They've had all the possession in this game. By running across field, as Matthew Johns does now, and we freeze play there, you can see that all the Balmain defences come up, plenty of space, and you'll see the try scorer come round the outside as Johns puts it through. And on the far side, Jason Moody flies through, another good young player for the Newcastle side. This is a planned move. Everybody knew it was coming.
Jason Moody really making the most. He's entered first grade this year. Leo Dinova strikes this one nicely from the sideline. It hits the crossbar. And right on the black and gold dot as well. I'll retract the statement. Looking at the replay, he didn't miss time to jump. He just basically dropped it. Here's Gillette. Webber. There's an overlap here. Webber. He won't need anyone. Jason Webber gets another solo try. The Tigers square up in a top effort from their centre, Jason Webber.
Very nice try there from the Balmain Tigers. And again, it came from the depth of the runners and the fact that they have players in motion. Newcastle didn't handle it particularly well in defence as they win the scrum. The cut-out pass. As we freeze it there, you can see by this player running back in field, it's committed this man, and all of a sudden it opens up an overlap on the outside, and quite a few Newcastle players back out of the line as play continues. The dummy was thrown, but the try was scored because Matthew Gidley had too many players confronting him. The cut-out pass, Robbie O'Davis, you see coming up in the line. The player going back, commits on the inside. O'Davis, the dummy thrown, and because there were two players trying to cope with three, that opened it up for the try scorer, and he showed good speed. Got one last week, has got another one today.
Gibson shut it down. Last play for the Knights. Matthew Johns, Gidley. 10 metres out, then for Albert. Away go the Newcastle Knights on the last tackle to score. There's some bright young talent getting involved in the lead up to that try, finished off by Darren Albert.
And some very good vision there. Running the football on the last tackle. It's something we should see more of in the modern game with players dropping back. And Matthew Johns, he eats up the space. As we freeze it there, you can see that he's come forward, and by doing that, he's going to commit this player. And by doing so, it opens the hole up. And as play continues, it now becomes a simple task of breaking the line for Gidley and offloading. He did that perfectly. Would have been easy to throw a forward pass in those circumstances, and Darren Albert is the recipient. But just have a look at Matthew Johns as he weighs things up. He looks to see what the best option is, sees that he could commit two players. The outside man, Kennedy, was the key one. That opened up the hole. Milford was committed to go for Gidley, and Gidley kept his head, as he's done all season, to set up Darren Albert, and a simple run for the wingman to take it closer to the posts.
As Albert crosses, all the time I've been keeping an eye on Andrew Johns on the sideline. Sirenen had to assist. Andrew Johns. Matthew was with it. 10 out. Great ball inside from Matthew Johns for Fletcher. The ball comes loose and Brasher is with it. But it was sweet rugby league in the lead-up.
Adam New is going to be called out here for a tackle. It'll be interesting to have a look at this one, especially the placement of the Muir arms. It looked as though a try was again unfolding for the Knights. Beautiful pass there. Ball came loose. Now Muir comes in on... It's a fine tackle. I think the head got...
I'll tell you what, I think Muir's still happy that Jackson came in. Last tackle, centre. It came off the legs of Dinova. The Tigers still with a chance, they get in goal, and Ward's going to rule a try. Well, what about that? Balmain come up with their second 4-pointer. Matthew Gidley cannot believe it. And Stephen Jolly, the try scorer.
He's the man that was in the right spot. The last tackle, Darren sent a little bit of space, comes off the knee, picked up by Jolly, he's taken by Gidley, he swings around, and it's difficult to see from that angle, and the amount of players in the way as to whether he gets the football down. The referee's in no doubt. Comes off the knee of Dinova, picks it up, spins out of the tackle of Gidley. And the ball did appear to hit the ground in there somewhere. I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. They meet head on. 15 out from the Newcastle line. The Tigers maintain that momentum as Jolly gets it through. Did he get a hand to it, Jolly? In-goal judge again is called into the action, no try.
Well, if he did get a hand to it, he knocked on, but the ruling now is it will be a line dropout. So it's gone against the Newcastle side. Jolly put the little kick through. He found open space. Does he get his hand to it? Well, we can't really tell from there, but fortunately for Newcastle, they cleaned it up at the end. Davis and Jolly come to it. Someone got a touch. I can't work out who.
Peden, quick hands. Jackson wasn't expecting it. It comes a little bit of luck there for Johns. Then Harrigan, he's able to dribble out the pass for O'Davis. And O'Davis gets through the tackle of Brasher. He'll score, Robbie O'Davis. Oh, Tim Brasher has just not finished off the tackle. And Robbie O'Davis has scored, and that could be a try that turns the entire course of the game.
Well, I've just given him an enormous rap and he shakes the head, and I think Tim Brasher here was guilty of trying to steal the football. And in doing so, he didn't keep control of the tackle. Some sloppy play. It's amazing how often sloppy play can lead to a try. It dribbles out the back to O'Davis. And I do think Tim Brasher, he gets you into a contest there for the football and slips off. And there was nobody back this time.
Inside the Tigers 40, Nineveh. Andrew Johns. There's the pass for O'Davis, then Albert. Albert steps away from Milford. Albert gets through a second, it's still going. Darren Albert, then the pass for Johns. Now for Nineveh. Nineveh for the corner scores. Oh, what a try from the Newcastle Knights. And Darren Albert in one run might have got himself a blue jumper.
Well, it was actually 2 runs, really. The second one probably as important as the first because he got up off the ground and found his support. Bubba Kennedy slides across to make the tackle on O'Davis. But Albert, he had no trouble getting around Milford. He's on the ground now, nobody holding him. He's got every right to get up and play on. And then the end, Andrew Johns able to find Leo Dinova, despite the attention of Laloa Milford, who was beaten in the first encounter. He was able to score without any doubt. Great footwork there, tremendous speed. And as he goes to the ground, he realises that he's got every right to get up and continue play. And then at the end, there just wasn't enough cover defence coming across, and Dinova scores out wide.
35 out from their own line, Newcastle on the last tackle. Chance to get a deep one in, although Johns has to step. And now for Dinova. Well, the opportunity opens to run, and Craigie with a smart kick over the top is back with it. And then for Moody. Moody throws it, it's gone forward. Would have been the best try of the decade. Inside the Knights 10. Centre is a dummy half. It's been such a good game, you're almost willing the Tigers to score. Gillette will supply the points. Well, this match is deserving of the grandstand finish. We're going to have one.
And you pointed out that Michael Gillette hasn't run a lot in this game. The big left foot step caught the defence out here. The arm was hung out and Gillette sliced through, and this is where you want to score them. He's given his side a chance. In fact, a little bit of a slip there from Butterfield, so it was an inside back up against a front rower, and the conditions didn't help the prop forward. Darren Centre drifting across to Michael Gillette. Gillette holding the ball out in 2 hands. Puts it back into 1. Feet go out from under Tony Butterfield, and Michael Gillette under the post. We're going to have a 2-point ball game.
2 veteran front rowers. Centre looks himself to 10. Marker Harrigan did well. Centre, a play the ball was quick. Jolly. Now Michael Gillette. Gillette kicks. Oh, it's a woeful kick into the arms of Albert. And now Albert has a chance to run. They mightn't catch him. Darren Albert, sheer speed from the Newcastle right winger. Well, if he didn't have the New South Wales jumper before, I think he's packing his bags now.
And the kick you described as a shocker is a worse one now. Probably the quickest man on the field, Darren Albert, and they kicked it straight into his arms. There was nothing on here. The winger is back. There wasn't a lot of space there, and the kick was just a shocker. And Darren Albert, he turned them inside out. And you're not going to come from behind and catch this man. So he's really gone from hero to villain, Michael Gillette. Came off the side of the boot It wasn't the last tackle. The kick didn't have to be executed at that time. And then Darren Albert, he swimmeled around, couldn't believe his luck. And when it came to a foot race, there was only ever going to be one winner.
Darren Albert made his representative debut for country. He handled himself well on what was not a winger's night in the wet at Marathon Stadium. Everything he did was right on that night. And today, on the eve of State of Origin selection, he's handed in a cracker.